All right, we're back after a hiatus. We had some scheduling conflicts last week,
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties, you could say. So we did miss last week, and we apologize. I'm Grant. I'm here with Brice. We're gonna do our picks. We're obviously down our buddy Tyler. Um, he's a third shifter, so he's got to get some sleep working that OT. But let's just get right into it. And we're gonna try to do what, like three picks a piece. I'll tell you more that I like, but I'm gonna at least give you three. Um, on the year for college football, I'm up, but since we've been doing this, I'm probably a little bit below 500. Where are you sitting, Brice?
I'm sitting at 500 exactly. It was actually a blessing we missed last week because I would have been down 0-3 that week, but we
I
didn't get him in. So
guess that's a good
3-3.
thing. 3-3. That's a good thing. So why don't you kick us off with your first pick of the
All right,
week?
the first one I'm gonna target. It's not a touted one, but you should know well about Marshall.
Shut up.
Marshall versus Georgia Southern. The line was moving up on Marshall last night, but I got it in at minus 6.5, and I've put them in my parlays on the money line if you want to go a little bit safer, but it's minus 250 or minus 260 for that at the moment.
Right on.
But number 7 rusher for Marshall, Georgia Southern's, I don't know. Their defense is bad, but their offense is good. It's just one of those teams.
Right. No, I understand that. I can get that. Oh, man. Which one do I want to start with? I think I'm going to go ahead and just start off with USC money line. I'm just not overly impressed with UCLA. I haven't been all year. I think that there's aspects of their team that are good, that are impressive. Like I think Charbonnet at running back. I mean, I think he's legit. Like he's good. I just think USC's offense is going to be a little too much for UCLA's defense. And I mean, when you're going against a team the caliber of an offense that USC has, it's just tough. I mean, what are they averaging? 42 points a game. I mean, seriously, like that's nutty. I mean, I
It's
know it's the Pac 12, but 42 points a game is still insane.
And I'll endorse that pick because I took them as one of my picks at minus 2 as well. What did you get the line at for the money line on FanDuel?
It's like minus 120 something, I think. Let me double
Okay, I
check if
because I
we get
took the
it
minus
for.
2 on them because I felt confident in that as well, and I felt like that was just a little bit better
Let me
line.
find
But
it. I'm looking right now.
USC's number one in turnover margin, man. They've gained 20 and lost 3, and
That's what happens when you have
UCLA.
a quarterback that can protect the ball. It's
Yeah, I
minus
mean he rushes,
120.
so he could give it up, but they're smart. They're a smart team. UCLA just gave up to Arizona's quarterback. He went 22 for 28, 315 yards and 2 touchdowns. He only missed
Caleb
six.
Williams is going to dice them the fuck up. It's going to
That's
be
what I'm
ugly.
thinking too, and I'm like, I don't like that at all. But
You can
ranked
get
wise,
it.
they're pretty close.
You can get it for at minus 126 right now on FanDuel for the money line. So it's not like the greatest odds. It might be something you want to parlay with something. But
I
that's
took the spread. You don't like the minus 2?
it's at 2.5 on FanDuel, so it's going up.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
got it at
I'd
minus
still
2 just a
take
little bit
it.
ago.
I'd still take it at 2.5. I guess like it's a minus
I-
105. It gives
As
you a little
long as
bit
it's
more
under 3.
juice. Yeah, as long as it's under 3, I'd probably take it. But I mean, for now, I'm just going to take the money line just because we saw UCLA get diced up by lesser. Bo Nix diced them up. Arizona's
Yeah.
quarterback diced them up. What
I
does
will
Caleb
say
Williams
though,
do?
Arizona's hot right now, and
I
their
don't.
quarterback
I don't
is.
give a shit. I don't give a single fuck. You hot.
Well, if you
You're
want to
getting
compare,
diced up by.
USC finished the game against them. You
I'm
know,
just saying, you're getting diced up by a quarterback who's literally neither Bo Nix nor whoever the fuck is Arizona's quarterback.
Jason De La Rea or something
Yeah,
like that. He's from
Jason De La
Honolulu.
Rey. Exact. Who the fuck? Anyways,
Dude, he's a
so
stud. He's a Heisman dark horse at this point. He's
I
killing
don't
it.
give a shit. Caleb Williams, dude. Like, I mean, if you're getting diced up by those guys, Caleb's going to give you fits,
No, I agree.
regardless.
I agree.
He's going to
Caleb
give you
Williams.
fits.
I
The
don't know what Caleb
question,
Williams props are looking like, but they might be juicy.
and while USC's defense isn't impressive, like you said, the turnover margin. So they're obviously forcing turnovers, right? I mean, that's what you're saying. essentially.
Yeah, well, I'm saying turnover margin as in like they've gotten 20
They
and they've
forced
given
20
and they've
turnovers and have only given it back 3 times, is what you're saying.
right. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're way up on it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
way up. I mean, if their defense is bad, but if their defense does that to UCLA, it might be a shit show. It might be a 10
Well,
point plus
what I
game.
think it plays in favor for USC every week too, or a lot of times, is because the Pac-12, like you said, their defenses are so bad. The passing efficiency defense for UCLA is 90th. USC is like 60th, so that's like right in the middle. USC's probably got the slight edge in like when teams have to pass all the time in the Pac-12,
Yeah, no, I get that.
because
And
they're not
but
that good. They don't play defense. They're like the Big 12. We don't
it's
believe in
just the
defense.
general principle of it all, you know what I mean? Like you're just kind of like whatever. And I mean, they're both in California, so it's not like it being at UCLA is going to make all that big of a difference. I mean, it's just not. It's
No,
not like
yeah.
they're coming to the Midwest to play in this 20-degree bullshit we've got going on.
This will really screw up your over-unders and
Yeah.
everything in the Midwest right now. You definitely gotta be checking your weather report.
Yeah, that's a great point. Let's just talk about that for a minute. You have to, if you're in the north betting on games in the Northeast, the Midwest, you have to check the weather report. If you're not checking the weather report before those games, you're fucking up and it could cost you money. I mean, we're going to talk about it later, but I mean, South Bend today, it's going to be like 20 degrees, 25, 26, something or somewhere in the 20s, 18-mile-an-hour winds, pretty much consistently all game long. I mean, I mean, case in point. I mean, Notre Dame wants to run the ball anyway, but here's the thing: if BC stacks the box, Notre Dame might be forced to throw the ball. So that's just something that you have to consider, and that's exactly why you have to check these weather forecasts. But let's get into your second pick.
Well, that was my second pick.
Oh,
This will be
USC
my
is your
last
second
pick.
pick. Oh, okay.
That's why I endorsed that. I was like,
Yeah,
I had
let
the
me.
minus two. It's basically the same pick.
I'll drop my second one then, and that's going to be TCU minus 2.5. If you want to just get like a little cheeky and you just want to take the money line, I completely understand. Again, it's going to be the minus 120s ish. Let me double check just to make sure. Oh wow, it's actually moved. It's minus 137. So you might just want to go ahead and either parlay that, or you might want to take it 2.5 minus 2.5.
It's
But
moving for TCU.
yeah, it's moving for TCU.
That's weird because
Did Baylor not just get curb stomped by Kansas State, or was that? Am I thinking of something else?
I don't know. I can pull up their schedule real quick. It's just weird though because I feel like TCU's win over Texas was nice after they were +7 spread. Like they actually played defense against us, which was crazy. But Dimers had Baylor to win at like 52% or something, which really didn't make no sense to me. I don't know.
I mean, it's at Baylor, but again, you're in Texas. I mean, at least that it's more of like Baylor's like you're gonna get the rowdy crowd, like the students are gonna come out and show up. Like if you ever watch any of the California games, it feels like people don't really want to go watch games in person unless it's like, maybe USC, UCLA, or Notre Dame, USC. They're not packing the Coliseum. They're not gonna pack places, but Baylor's crowd could get a little rowdy.
You're 100% right. They got curb stomped 31-3 by Kansas
Yeah.
State.
How are you only a 2.5 point dog? I mean, this is one of those games where you feel like the books know something, but at the
Well,
same time,
well, if you want to know, they have no good wins on their schedule. They lost to BYU in double OT. They lost to Oklahoma State, who's got curb stomped. They lost to West Virginia, who's got like a bottom like 130 defense
yeah,
or something. Their defense is
I don't
terrible.
really see how Baylor wins this game in my head right now. That's what we're talking about. I don't see it, so I'm going TCU all the way. I don't give a shit that they just got embarrassed. I mean, they're obviously it's a TCU Baylor is going to be a rivalry game. So I don't expect TCU to just blow them out, but I mean, money line or minus 2.5, like I like my chances.
Yeah, I could get behind that. I know DK's throwing a same game parlay boost for that, but you can't take the touchdowns in the same game parlay, so it kind of sucks.
DK is my join FanDuel. I'm just kidding. But FanDuel's they do it every week. They do the bet 20 on 4+ leg same game parlay or same game parlay plus, and you get $10 back in free bets. no matter what, win or lose, which is nice because you can put something out there a little saucy, or you could put like I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure you can bet like you could do like two $10 4-leg parlays and you still get your 10 back, but you could double your chances to win basically.
Yeah, put it out twice.
Yeah, you basically could put it out twice, like if you
We're throwing
wanted.
a lotto on. You basically got to play it big though. That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, the 20 obviously gives you the biggest like dub. Like otherwise you're gonna have to really be slapping some shit together trying to make it work. But yeah, so what is your last pick that you're gonna like give out, and then we'll just talk about giving just our general, what we're doing.
My last one, I'll recommend it two different ways. One for a sprinkle on the money line, and one for take the alt points at as much as you can to be safe on like a parlay. But Arizona versus Washington State, man. I think Arizona is just gonna steamroll the rest of the season and get into a bowl game after not. But their quarterback is just out of this world right now. But their
No,
defense is so bad. That's the one thing. Every time I bet them, it's like this defense is so bad. But they just beat UCLA, so it's kind of like they might just be hot. You might just got to jump on the train at the right time, and hopefully it just takes off. But you can get them at +4 regular or +9.5 alt, or take their money line at like I think I got it +155. I don't know if it's moved or not.
right.
But Washington State's not the greatest, and they struggled with good passing teams, which bodes very well for Arizona.
Yeah, I mean that's Arizona's. I mean it's one of those games where it's kind of like, and you
Well,
just
they
don't
gave
really know.
Arizona gave USC a lot of trouble, dude. They took
Yeah.
them down in the fourth, and were just kept scoring and scoring and scoring, and
Well,
then they just beat UCLA. So it's kind of like
the Pac-12 is like the defense is non-existent a lot of times, so it's a hard thing to judge. But no, I mean it could happen. Um, so before I get into my last like one, I'm just like that's going to be one of my plays. I just want to pat myself on the back a little bit. Notre Dame last week over 27.5 total points. If you tuned in to Irish Uncensored's pod during the week, I threw it out there Wednesday. Which made me feel good because I didn't get a chance to get on Saturday and give it again because holy shit, it smacked in the first half. We were watching. I was on the phone with Brice and Tyler on StreamYard, just watching it happen. And man, I couldn't. I mean, I could believe, but I couldn't believe that it cashed first half.
you're lucky it cashed first half because Notre Dame wasn't
Yeah.
there in the second half. They didn't show up. They just got on the bus and left.
We
That
didn't
was
need to show up. We didn't need to. No,
That
but
goes into another bet too, though. After that second half, man, BC's +100 over 6.5 second half points. I would tail that for a unit. Even
yeah,
if they're blown out, you could get a
the garbage
garbage
time.
time touchdown,
So
and that's
Brice is
it.
taking second half Boston College to get over 6.5 points in the second half. Garbage time is always a thing. So regardless, I mean, honestly, like I think that it's a pretty good bet, but I'm not
I
gonna.
think Tyler would endorse that bet,
I think he would
especially
too.
after watching that Navy game.
Yeah, but we're talking about two completely different animals here. We're talking about a team like Navy who's going to literally just run the ball for the most part, and a team that's like pro style like Boston College who wants to throw it all the time, and it's 20-mile-an-hour winds. So it could go a couple different ways. But if you've been with us some this year, and obviously, we started this kind of like mid-season, but I've given out a few Notre Dame nukes, and on the big plays, I've been undefeated. I don't have a big play this week. There's just with the weather and just kind of the inconsistencies that we've seen against lesser competition. I'm not going to throw a big nuke out there, but I'm going to give you the play I'm playing, and then I'm going to give you a few like you might want to sprinkle type plays. So the last play I'm taking is Logan Diggs anytime touchdown. It's on FanDuel right now. You could get it
Only
at
FanDuel, not on DraftKings.
only FanDuel because DraftKings is buns. Um,
It just
you
depends on what type of better you are for what book you need.
honestly, I don't. There's not too much that DraftKings does that FanDuel doesn't, but regardless. You can play both books. That's the beauty of it. So Logan Diggs is at plus 155 anytime touchdown. Here's the thing. There's a few things with this. One, we know Notre Dame wants to run the ball. We know that it's kind of shitty weather. It's cold. This is the thing. Everyone's on estimate because if you go to estimate, he's like minus 390 to score, and he's probably going to score. I'm not saying he's not. Logan, this is the thing that Notre Dame is doing, though. You have to understand. Notre Dame is balancing 3 underclassmen running backs. Okay. They are trying to get them all the work that they can. They're trying to be equitable. They're trying to make sure that everybody's eating. And here's the deal. Diggs is due. While everybody's on Estime, Diggs outtouched Estime last week. Diggs, in fact, has outtouched Estime most weeks since he's been healthy.
Is he going to hit the big play, though? Is he going to get the red zone touch?
He might not need it. That's what I'm saying. Like, he might not need the red zone touch. It might be a big run. He might get loose.
Well, that's what I said. He's got to get a big play. It's got to be a big play, or he's got to get to the red zone touch. So it's got to be in that aspect.
Be a big play. But basically my point is the opportunity is there, and at plus 155, that's good value because he hasn't scored for a couple games. He's due. Like, those are things like that Notre Dame is going to – if Notre Dame eats this game and they eat up Boston College, they're going to try to get Diggs a tutty. They're going to try to get Mayer a tutty. They're going to try to do those things.
We'll talk about the Mayer touchdown line because – the DK slander, and it's plus 105 on DK and like minus 150 on FanDuel.
So you talk about it. You're the DK guru.
Well, his trend is he's scoring every other game, and he didn't score last game, but you were just talking about the weather, 18 mile an hour, and it's like, but he can always score. I mean, he's like a first round projected pick in the draft, so it's kind of hard not to like his touchdown or like himself. He's too good.
Mayer is always a pop pass away. Like, I mean, legit.
Yeah, and he's great in the red zone too. You know they have plays for him in the red zone. It's just, are they gonna, if they're able to run it down Boston College throat, are they even gonna care to? But like you said, are they gonna stack the box? Is it gonna be too windy? Yeah. There's so many factors that play into it this week.
So Diggs being my final, like, of my 3 that I'm measuring, but things that I like in the Notre Dame game. FanDuel, you can get a Zay Flowers touchdown plus 160.
Yeah, you're welcome for telling you about him.
I'd known about Zay Flowers. Notre Dame plays him all the time. They play him every fucking year. So
I didn't know if he's done anything last year. I just figured out about him this year. I seen he had 10 touchdowns. I was like, ooh, he's about to score.
He's talented. I mean, Notre Dame always, this whole year.
He's a senior. He's an older player too, or like he's just been there a while.
He's more of a vet. He's definitely been around. So that's my point is like, I feel like he could eat. Like, he could get a touchdown. If Boston College gets in the red zone, he could catch a fade. He could catch a jump ball. He could just burn Notre Dame deep. Like, do you like
his yards at 75 then?
I don't love his yards just because.
Are they going to garbage time pass it up to him though? Like, is he going to get just cash it in the fourth quarter alone, just off like 2 or 3 plays?
Boston College doesn't run the ball extremely well, so I think they're going to throw a lot of the game because their quarterback's line is set at 230 passing yards ish in that ballpark. So they're anticipating them throwing. He could get his yards could hit. I'm just saying, I feel like a safer play almost is his touchdown because he could catch 3-4 balls for 50 yards and he scores, and that cash is at plus 160 versus, essentially playing.
I like that. He has 10 games, 10 touchdowns. I could get behind that. It's not on DK though. You have to play on FanDuel.
Yeah, and then the other one that I like in that regard is, okay, so we talked about Boston College. Okay, they probably are going to stack the box. They would probably be stupid as fuck if they don't stack the box, because here's the deal: Estime and Diggs will eat you up if there's not 8 in the box. So.
Unless they got a Luke Kuechly or something back there.
Well, they don't, and they don't.
They're bad this year. They're bad,
and they don't have that. So Notre Dame, I feel like, may try to do some things where they're trying to get outside or loosen it up with a screen. And who is the guy? Who's the pass catching back? I know Estime and Diggs can both catch, but traditionally, Notre Dame likes Chris Tyree coming out of the backfield. He could also line up in the slot. He can catch balls. He's a mismatch nightmare because he runs a fucking 4.3. And we're talking about overall a pretty slow Boston College defense. Like, I'm not saying there's not a guy here, a guy there, but Tyree pretty much on almost anyone is a mismatch out of the backfield.
I mean, you guys are favored 20 points for a reason. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's like
No, you're
they're
right.
bad.
You're right. Anytime touchdown for Chris Tyree is plus 600. He
There's some
caught a
good value
touchdown.
there.
He caught a touchdown against Navy last week. He didn't play a ton just because, I don't think it just really fit into the game plan. To be honest, he didn't get a lot of looks because Notre Dame just trying to throw the ball all over hell, and it just didn't fit for last week. I mean, he did score, but still. But
What are
this
you going to
week,
play it for? A full unit or a half unit,
dude,
quarter unit?
I don't know. Like, part of me wants to be
What's the
like,
confidence level? That's a 2 unit whale play or what?
no. If I was gonna bet something heavy, I'd say Diggs anytime touchdown. If I was going to bet it heavy, which I'm not going to do, I would say Diggs anytime touchdown. But Chris Tyree at plus 600 anytime touchdown on FanDuel is good value. That's good value. Like, it's worth a sprinkle if you got $2.50, $5, just something light to put on it, because he swings out of the backfield or he rips off a big run against BC. He's the guy that's gonna house shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy that could get the ball on Notre Dame's 30 and house it. Diggs and Estime, they can do it, but they're less likely to do it. Um,
How many rushes are they getting a piece? Like, what's estimate getting? 15 rushes a game? 10
so last
rushes?
week, last week Diggs got 13 carries and Estime got 8. And
Ugh.
then Clemson game, they got 18 and 17. And then before that, because
That's more
Estime had
realistic.
some
Like, that's what I thought they're at 15-15 type.
Estime had some fumbling issues. So there was games where he, like the UNLV game, Estime only got 3 carries.
Oh, he
But
got put in the doghouse.
yeah, so Diggs touched the ball 28 times against UNLV. He touched it 20 times before that. Like, Diggs, that's why I said Diggs is actually, the last 4 weeks, he's out touching Estime.
That's what's scary because on DK, they're not giving you like all the props for this. And they only have
No.
Estime and Mayer touchdown, and the Estime yards are set at 75. So it's kind of hard to. It's like if you're only going to get 8 rushes, you're going to have to get like 10 yards a rush.
Yeah,
That's
and that's the
terrible.
thing. That's the
But
thing. You
15
don't
rushes,
know.
I kind of like that line. If he gets 15, I like 75 yards.
Yeah, if he gets it, that's the thing. Is he gonna get it though? And the thing of it is that Diggs is taking enough of the work, and then that's not counting what Tyree comes in and takes. So that's Notre Dame's backs are always dangerous to bet as far as yardage. Touchdown wise, though, Estime's a scoring machine. He's your goal line guy.
Yeah, he's huge. So
But don't Diggs isn't little. Like, don't let that fool you. Like, Diggs is not small.
no,
He's
but there's
not
just no
small.
point if you're gonna play this many backs and he's in that form. I'm gonna use him like Derrick Henry, like I'm gonna ground
Yeah.
and pound when I need to, and it's gonna make sense to use him in the red zone. But there are niche, like I get it, like you can throw this dude in here and he does this better.
Well, and this is the thing, and this is why this game, I feel like we're going to see plenty of Estimate, but I feel like this might be like a Diggs kind of game, is just because we're going to try to get a little bit more outside. Like, we're going to try to basically Diggs and Tyree, because we're going to try to loosen them up. We don't want 8 in the box, or if we do see 8 in the box, we want to loosen you up by throwing the ball or having more of a speed guy that can get outside or something like that. Like, I'm not saying Estime is not going to do it, but I'm just saying his value for a touchdown parlay is not worth playing. I don't think his yards are
No.
worth playing. Like, so if you're looking at value, it's Diggs and Tyree props that you want to be looking at.
Well, Mayer touchdown's great value on DK.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the only
and
prop.
the Mayer touchdown on DK.
Plus 105 is killer for that.
Yeah, if you can take it, I mean, honestly, that's 100% worth a unit. It is. It's worth a unit. Whatever unit may be, whether it be $2.50, $10, whatever. It's probably worth a unit if you're on DK. Um, what
Are
else
you
we
touching the
seeing
over
there?
under for the game?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I've been telling this to Brice all fucking week long, but I don't know what it is on DK, but on FanDuel,
Check.
you can get the away total points for Boston College at plus 10.5, plus 108. Like, I just feel like Boston College is going to score 11 points. Like, I could see them scoring 13. But then you go back and you look at some of their games and you're like, these fuckers only scored 3 against UConn, 3 against Clemson.
Dude,
Like,
it has a 28-7 writing all over this. Notre Dame's going to
yeah.
score one time each quarter, and BC's going to score one time in the second half. Just how I bet. Watch.
Yeah,
28-7, I'm calling
you
it
could
now.
be right. And the Notre Dame point line is set at like 30.5, and I don't really want to touch that because
It's 31.5 on DK right now, plus
you
100.
it is 30.5
So you got
minus
a point better.
128. Yeah, so a point better, but I mean the odds are worse, you know. The odds aren't as
I
good.
would like the BC team total points better at 9.5. That sneaky little point 0.5 over that 10, dude. 11 such a random number.
You could have gotten it in earlier in the week. You could have gotten the minus
Oh, it went
9.5.
up.
Yeah, it went up a point, and it's kind of made it, instead of like a 2 score, made it like a 2 touchdown or 3 score, which I don't know that BC is going to do that. But when Drew Pine's a quarterback, it's kind of like,
Well, another angle on it too. You could Boston College, both their lines in the second and first half are set at 6.5. So if you can
yeah,
predict when BC is going to score, you're going to
sprinkle it.
guarantee hit a bet like 6.5. But they could watch them blow a field goal. Watch the win be too much, and just
Yeah,
I got
there's not
6.
going to be a lot of field goals. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because, ouch, shit, my calf cramps. there's not going to be a lot of there's not going to be field goals this game. No one's kicking it from 40 with 20-mile-an-hour winds. You're dumb as shit.
I think it's good though. I think it might actually pump the over and under a little bit more if teams are going for it aggressively and they get it, and then they
Yeah, it
score
could be
off the
bad
drive.
though. It could be bad. Like, okay, Notre Dame goes for it, they don't get it. That under, it's slapping
But
because
it's good for both the BC bets we talked about.
the only way the over's hitting is if Notre Dame's dropping 30 plus. That's just the fact. But everyone's anticipating that. Like, a lot of people are anticipating that. So if Notre Dame does drop 30, we're talking 4 touchdown scores. I like my odds that they're either Diggs, Mayer, Tyree. Maybe we get one to Jaden Thomas. He's like a little sneaky play, but I mean, I'm going to stick with the Diggs and Tyree sprinkles for me just because that's what I like. So, but no whale play on Notre Dame this week. I'm going to keep my undefeated streak on the whale plays on Notre Dame going into USC next week. And it's looking good. It's looking like we're going to be plus money. It's looking like Brice said DK's already got the line open. What did you say last night? 4.5?
4.5 or 5.5?
Notre Dame's already a plus 4.5 dog to USC.
Yeah, plus
And
4.5 at minus 110. They don't have the money line or total open though, just like the little
I
spread.
I love it. I love it. This Notre Dame team this year has been such a better's dream if you know the team, if you know the caliber of player, and you know the caliber of competition. It's been a better's dream. And I don't think we'll see that next year because I don't think they're going to be given that value. But because Notre Dame started so shaky, we got plus money against a lot of people that we shouldn't have gotten plus money against. I don't give a fuck what they're doing. No, North Carolina we should not have been a dog against North Carolina. We should not have been a dog against fucking Syracuse. Like, there's just shit that shouldn't happen, and that's one of those things. And it's just worked out in Notre Dame's favor. Who's Texas got today?
Kansas. We got Bean or Daniels, and we're minus 8.5. It's coming down in our favor. It was 9 or 9.5, I think, to start. It might have been 10 even to start the week for Kansas.
If Daniels plays, I don't know, man. I'm not saying that Texas won't win, but I don't know that Texas is
I would
covering
only
right
take
now.
6.5. I would buy down to 6.5 or 2.5. It's not worth playing the money line. It just depends on how we respond to TCU. It's like Notre Dame. How are you going to respond to your second half last week? That's why I don't know about this game either. It's like, are you going to come
Notre
out and play
Dame might
pissed
fucking
off?
hang 50 on these motherfuckers.
That's what
They
I'm saying.
really
They could
might.
play pissed off. We could play pissed off. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, they really could hang like 50 on BC and just be like, you know what? Fuck last week. We're gonna come shove it up your butt, and that's just what's gonna happen. I don't know that that's what's gonna happen. I'm just saying that it could happen. It's not outside of the possibility. It's also possible that Notre Dame wins this game 20-14.
Well, you just got to think that those are the 2 worst quarters of football you've played all year. You're coming off the 2 worst quarters of football you've played all year.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Dude, I don't know.
It's sad that that's debatable, but it is debatable. I mean, Stanford was ugly, Marshall was ugly. Yeah.
If we sit down and pull up every drive and the yardage and what happened and the plays called, it was downright disgraceful. And the
It's like
fact
2
that
total
Navy has
yards.
a third string quarterback and it's Navy, you almost know what they're going to do and have to do. You just, I don't
And
know. It was
Notre
bad.
Dame was down some dogs that week, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. We're still
Down
down a
some
dog.
dog.
We're still down a dog this week in Brandon Joseph. Mr. All American safety is out. He's got a high ankle sprain. Hopefully he can. It's a high ankle. It might just be an ankle sprain,
If
but
it's high ankle, that's like 5 weeks, brother.
no, it's not high ankle. He didn't
4
play
weeks.
Navy. He didn't play this week, so I think they're hoping to get him back for USC. Obviously, he would be incredibly important for the USC game. Bertrand's playing. I think Kaiser was probable.
It only makes sense to
Um,
sit your guys, to be honest. I really don't think you guys are sweating BC, but you guys didn't
no.
sweat Marshall either.
Well, and the thing of it is, though, is with what Notre Dame does is that we've got dudes like playing, like we've got safeties with experience. Ramon Henderson has been playing. Xavier Watts has been playing. Houston Griffith has been playing. Like it's not like we don't have guys back there that can freaking play. It's just Brandon Joseph is just a little bit different caliber currently than what those guys are. So, I mean, I don't want to say safety makes me nervous today, but I mean, when you're playing a pro style team that all they're going to do is throw the ball and you're down your best safety, that's kind of a little like, oh, 10
It
and a
just
half.
depends though. The level of play calling and the level of quarterback play, he's got a wide receiver. But there's other factors. If you know they can't run the ball, it's like
But what we've seen though from Notre Dame so far, what we've seen is corners getting cooked like when they get one-on-one. Like
you guys are bad in man.
we've seen
Bad man
Notre Dame
defense.
corners get absolutely worked in one-on-ones. I mean, it's just the truth. Like they've
What's
gotten
your scheme on defense? You guys run like a 3-4 zone or
truthfully, I think it just kind of varies game to game. Yeah, that's your boy from the Bungles calling the
Al
shots.
Golden?
Yeah.
He was never even anything significant. He was just a linebackers coach there.
I'm just saying, what kind of scheme was he? What kind of
He
linebacker
didn't.
scheme?
He was a linebackers coach. He had no say in the scheme. I
I
think we
know he
played a
did not
3-4. I
say.
think we played a
Okay.
3-4 when he was there.
I don't think Notre Dame's playing 3-4. I want to say they're playing 4-3, or if they're playing 3-4, there's a linebacker on the line because
That's what 3-4 is. You have two backers,
yeah,
like edge rushers and two middle
I think
linebackers
it's
almost.
traditionally 4-3 though. But honestly, I really haven't paid that much attention to his scheme. All I know is that Jaden Mickey has ended up on islands a couple times, and I don't think they've all been his fault. I think a few times he's had expected help over top, but this is like one of those games where you expect help over top, and then it's not there, and Zay Flowers catches a 40-yard bomb because no one's there. Like that's just the kind of games that Notre Dame's played, and it's literally happened almost every single game. Navy. Oh, we have DJ Brown at safety too. I forgot about him because he was getting cooked by Navy's receivers. He was pass interfering.
Your whole defense was getting cooked by Navy the second.
I know that you have to play the run so heavy, but like DJ Brown truly did not trust his athleticism to keep up with the Navy receivers. And that's a little disappointing because honestly, he's a good run playing safety, and he's better than what people think in the past. And I'm not saying I necessarily agree with both the PIs he got or holdings or whatever the hell they called on him, but dude, trust your athleticism. Like that's buns. Like you can't just sit there and grab a Navy wide receiver. Just run
He
with
might
him.
not have had any technique either, man. I don't know. You got to work on everything. You can have a bunch of athleticism and have no technique and just get destroyed all day. Look how good Devontae Adams is just off technique, man. He's not super fast.
No,
He's
but
just a technician.
it's just the general point that they should be. This is a game
Better.
that Notre Dame should dominate, and he shouldn't be because of what we're going to do at safety. It's a little concerning as far as like, I would not be shocked if Boston College scored 14. That's not shocking, but
Take
I'm
the
not.
points in the first or second then.
You can't underestimate though, like you said, like you can't underestimate, like you said this. Notre Dame is going to come out and they are going to like step on their heads. Like they're going to just, we fucked up last week. We took our foot off the gas. They're going to just be going full steam ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that. That's why I said that's something that's you can't predict. You can predict it. You can't really like see that in the numbers though. You don't know. Like
No,
I
you
don't
can't.
know. It's tough. It's a tough angle, but it's very well could happen because that was very bad football, and that would definitely fire me up as a coach to like light a fire under my player's ass.
Yeah, like it's senior. Well, on top of it being senior day,
It's
like just
senior day
come
for
out.
you guys.
Yes,
Oh, Mayer's definitely gonna score then because he's
he's not
gone
a
after this.
senior.
I know, but he's gone after this year. They're gonna
Yeah,
give him a touchdown
this
for it.
is in all likelihood the
His last.
all-time tight end leading, guy's last game at Notre Dame Stadium. So, Mayer would probably be a fool to come back for one more year when you're already projected first round. But
Yeah.
would obviously love to have him back. But you're right. I would not be shocked. I mean, if they try to get Mayer a touchdown
I
in his
didn't know
last
about
game,
that narrative either. That's a good narrative for a lot of
Brice
senior
runs to
players on
DK to
senior day.
bang plus 105. Michael Mayer TD.
Hey, FanDuel's lines are usually better. So when you see a line that's that heavy on FanDuel and this better on like DK, that's weird. Normally the books aren't that far off on each other.
Well, and that's a prime reason why you should probably, if you're gonna like gamble, regardless of unit size, be on at least two books
Yeah,
because it's
definitely.
minus 150 ish on FanDuel and plus money on, DK. But then on the
Which
flip
is
side of that
rare.
coin,
Which
yeah.
is rare.
But on the flip side of that coin, he can't even bet most of Notre
Half the
Dame's
props, yeah.
touchdowns
Unless
on
they open
DK.
them up, it's still early. That's the only thing I'm saying for him.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it is senior day, so we're gonna. That also makes me nervous though that they might play some guys who normally don't get a lot of tick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's no senior tight ends behind him, is there?
uh-uh.
It's Jaden Thomas, whatever his name is, not
No,
senior.
Jaden's like he might be a redshirt freshman or sophomore. He's not. No.
So Mayer's gonna get the respect he deserves. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, there's no. Well, Braden, here's another. I guess if you're playing the senior day narrative, Braden Lindsay would be one that you want to watch to score a touchdown or at least get fed because
I
it's
could
senior
see it if
day.
you're up big time too.
Braden Lindsay is getting at least one jet sweep this game, probably two because he housed one against BC. I think when he was a freshman from like 60 yards out. So they're 100% giving him at least one jet sweep. I'm just saying. Tyree could even get a jet sweep.
They
We'll see
don't.
what they do. I don't know. I just know that Logan Diggs is scoring today. That's what I know. He's due.
He's due.
We're doing the he's due. He is due. He has not scored for a while. He's getting a lot of touches.
Well,
Man,
that's why I
I'm
like Mayer too,
excited.
because Mayer's trends every other week, and this is the week he's supposed to score too. So now that adds up with the Senior Bowl
I wouldn't
narrative
be.
and
Well, I mean, I wonder. Let me
or
look
Senior
real
Bowl
quick.
narrative, fucking Senior Day.
Yeah, what Mayer's plus 400 to score two touchdowns on FanDuel too. Like, would
I
you be
don't even.
shocked? Would you be shocked if Michael Mayer had two touchdowns in his last Notre Dame home game? Because
I
I
could
would,
see Mayer's dude against USC. I could see Mayer scoring like Travis Kelsey 4 or 5, something
dude,
random
that would be
crazy.
nutty. That would be nutty. That would be huge.
You're gonna. That's the thing against USC. You guys are gonna have to score points because if USC doesn't turn the ball over, are you at home against that? Or are you going to
Oh no, we're
California?
going to Cali, like Biggie Smalls. We're
Oh,
going back to Cali, Cali.
that's definitely a benefit. They're like, if you're playing us, you're coming to our field.
Well, we rotate, but I mean, honestly, I think Notre Dame would rather not play. I mean, I wish they were in Cali this week so that it was not 20 degrees.
I think Notre Dame benefits from playing in the cold though. Like if you got a bunch of because they recruit heavily Texas, California. They're a lot of their players, dude, don't see snow, don't see the cold like that. Some of them are just good enough though; it doesn't matter. But it probably affects them slightly.
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, yeah, if you got USC in November, it's probably a benefit, but it's also a benefit for your guys to be warm and comfortable as well.
built different, built in the Midwest.
Are there any Texas props you like? I'm kind of just bouncing around here looking at shit, but Quinn Ewers at 239.5 passing yards, Bijan 111 rushing yards. That might be a smack. He should torch Kansas.
He's just so good. You could be on his yards every week
Dude,
probably, but he
Bijan
didn't do anything last week.
Bijan 2 touchdowns is minus 115. That's wild. They really are expecting you guys to beat the dog shit out of
They
Kansas.
don't even have a one touchdown line open for Bijan because he scores every week.
Bijan receiving 24.5, Worthy 68.5, Whittington 40.5, Jatavion Sanders 58.5.
Yeah,
Three
I don't like any of
touchdowns.
that. They got DK don't even have half the people on it. They just got Worthy, Bijan, Arnold. They got yeah. I would go this. I would lay the spread. I would go 2.5 or minus
Yeah,
6.5, or bet Kansas plus a lot because they could easily backdoor cover.
right. No, they could. But we've been going about 40 minutes. We've thrown out a ton of picks we like. Um, Again, mine were SC money line, TCU minus 2.5, and Logan Diggs anytime touchdown. Brice, yours were USC minus 2. What else?
Arizona sprinkle on the money line or high alt spread, and Marshall money line or minus 6.5.
Can always count on Brice for some random fucking bets. No James Madison or Liberty this week, though.
Dude, Liberty broke my heart against UConn last week. That was tough. UConn's never been good or hasn't been good at football in a long time. And like Liberty was actually good and they just pooped the bed. That was crap.
Yeah, that sucks. But I think that's probably going to wrap it up for us this week. We'll try to touch back again, maybe midweek for a USC pregame if we can get Tyler. But hopefully you have some good luck gambling. And as always, go Irish. Throw
Hook 'em.
down the
Horns
Longhorn.
always go up.
All right. See you guys later.